So if you were to ask me, what do you think is the most controversial FNaF game? I would first of all say Security Breach. FNaF World is a really interesting game, with it also coming between FNaF 4 and FNaF Sister Location. But in late 2015, a trailer was uploaded for a new FNaF game, it seems, to Scott's YouTube channel. The trailer obviously starts off like any other FNaF trailer, you know, oh my god, what's going on? What game could this be? FNaF 57? And then what the fuck is it? That is basically the summary of people's reaction. Obviously, people were, confused. It would make sense. I mean, we just dropped off of this. But I would have to say, the reactions weren't all bad. I mean, there were still some people who were excited about this project. That kind of includes me. Well, how do I explain this? So, this game came out when I was like around 10 years old, right? I grew up with the FNaF series. I remember, drawing like animatronics as a kid. And I used to remember on my family computer, I played FNaF World, And I do remember having fun, playing that game as a kid. So with just any media out there are people who enjoy it and there are people who hate it. So when the game finally released in 2016, something happened. The game was immediately pulled off of Steam. The game got a lot of hate. Scott, removed it from Steam and then re-released it with an update. And I guess this game really did just fall into obscurity, as it's one of the games that is really just forgotten. Also, on the Dawko interview, by the way, shout out to Dawko, he's an amazing guy. Scott does comment on FNaF World, and I think you should hear what he has to say if you didn't watch this video.
Why did you decide to change things up and make FNaF Worlds?
Well, I do have some reasons for why I made it, even though they're not. It doesn't mean it was a good idea. Just just because I want to go ahead and get that out front. Just because I had reasons for making it doesn't mean it was a good idea. One part of it was just that. There's only so much that you can let your mind focus on. Murders and tragedy and stuff like that before you kind of start cracking, even if it's just stories that you're making. And I had to make something more lighthearted. And in hindsight, what I should have done is, I should have used that for a troll game, or I should have, made something like, Foxy Fighters. Saying Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was the right game at the right time. FNaF World, that wasn't a good time for it to be made because I was already in the rhythm of making games that were coming out not too far apart from each other. I was making them pretty fast, and that's what people were wanting and expecting, and that's what I was wanting to do anyway. I'm not, blaming people for wanting that. That's what I had created, that pattern, and I was happy with that. I liked making games really fast, but that was just a really poor decision of a game to try to make fast.
Okay, have you learned anything making this game?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot. In fact, right before you called, I was kind of thinking over that game, and I realized that that's probably the least valuable game I've ever made as far as profit is concerned. Mm-hmm. But it's also the single most valuable game out of the entire franchise. And the reason is because what I learned from FNaF World is what is driving every single project going on right now. It is serving as the gemstone of quality control in my mind, and it has solidified exactly what I have to do going forward. If I was treating the movie as I was treating my game series at the time I made FNaF World, we would be 3 movies into the FNaF movies by now. Yeah. And they would probably be terrible. If I had the mindset that, oh hey, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, people will love it, regardless of quality, then we would already have several movies and they would all be terrible. I mean, and this, Ultimate Custom Night would have come out way too soon, and it just served as a really important lesson for me that you should never take, it taught me to never take for granted how special it is to have a group of people who are eager to play what you make. FNaF World taught me to never take for granted your fan base.
Yeah.
Look, in my opinion, I don't think FNaF World is the absolute worst thing in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Obviously, it's not. That title goes to Night 4 in Sister Location. So, as Scott personally, just said that from FNaF World, he learned a lot of things. When something is just alright, I don't think it deserves not be treated the way it is, Yes, FNaF World was different, but I feel like people back in the day were a bit too crazy. So in conclusion, why was FNaF World so hated? Because it seemed like that Scott was approaching this game with less effort to the community. And also people thought that Scott was only, in it for the marketing at this point. And yeah. So I know this video was a bit like shorter on my talking because most of the video was filled with Dalko's interview. Shout out to him. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit shorter than the other ones. But you can check out my other FNAF videos if you're not satisfied with this one. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. If the video did feel short, just know that any length of the video is the necessitated length of the video that I feel like it needed. So I just got all my points across, if I even had any, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a great day, man. Girl. Subscribe, like, and roll outro.